welcome to our virtual yoga class. We'll go ahead and begin class laying on our backs. Make your way there, back on the mats, palms facing up towards the ceiling. A little mini shavasana here, the way that we end class. We'll go ahead and begin class more as a practice to soften, relax the body, to start shifting our attention to the present moment. Notice your breath. Inhale, belly expands, ribcage expands. And then exhale, you can sigh it out. We'll go ahead and take a few breaths here. Soften the neck, down the spine to your toes. Belly expands, ribcage expands. Optional exhale, sigh it out. Release all that tension from a week ago, from this morning, or just an hour ago. On the following inhale, start to lift your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, point your toes, full body stretch here. You're lifting your abdomen up towards the ceiling. Separating the shoulder blades, ankles are soft. Release. Start to bend at both knees. Soles of the feet on the floor. Rest your left ankle on top of your thigh, and then weave your left hand between your legs. Interlace your fingers behind that right thigh. Hold here. Bring your thigh closer towards your belly, towards your chest. Deep breath, inhale and exhale. Neck and shoulders are soft. One more breath. You can intensify this stretch by bringing your thigh closer towards your belly or chest. And then release. Opposite side, right ankle on top of your left thigh. Weave your right hand between your legs. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Hold here. You're noticing most of that stretch around that right hip. You can intensify that stretch by bringing your leg closer towards you. Generous breath. Inhale and exhale here. One more breath. Release. Cup your knees with your hands. Round your spine. Forehead up towards your knees. Chin towards chest. Hold. And then drop your head back. Lengthen your left leg on the floor. Keep your hands wrapped around your right knee. Flex your left foot towards the front. And then inhale. And then on an exhale, round your spine. Lift your forehead up towards your knee. Drop your head back. A few more times at your own pace, lifting your forehead up, chin tucks towards your chest. You want to make sure your elbows remain close towards your belly, towards your torso. You're activating throughout the core, also activating some strength there in the glutes and the quads. Round your spine, release throughout the upper back, the neck. On your next round, remain there, an extra breath cycle. Inhale and exhale. Hold the pose, not your breath, and release. And now opposite side, bend your left knee, grab that knee with your hands, round your spine. Make sure you're flexing that right foot towards the front of the room. Move at your own pace here. Rounding your spine, forehead up towards your knee, and then drop your head back. On that next round, remain there, an extra breath. Hold. You're holding the pose, but you're not holding the breath. And now drop your head back, bend both knees. We're gonna go ahead and shift into a twist. Drop your knees towards the left, bring your arms out to a T. Drop your head towards the right. So knees towards the left and then head towards the right. You want to make sure that your head and your knees are facing opposite directions to get the full benefit of this twist. So here we'll take a moment of pause before we move to the more active portions of class. Take a breath, soften your body. Here you can start to notice that connection of the mental body and physical body. If we're mentally tense, our bodies will become tense. So as you're here, supported by the ground, notice where are you holding up your body where you don't need to? Where can you soften just a little bit more? Scan the neck, down the spine to your hips, perhaps imagining your knees fall further towards the floor. One more breath, inhale here, exhale. And then knees come back to center. Drop your knees towards the right and then drop your head towards the left. Arms remain at that T. Scan your body and see where can you soften just 10% further. If you're ever having trouble concentrating, just lengthen your inhale a little longer than you're accustomed to. Lengthen your exhale a little longer as well. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then start to release your twist. Ground your hands on the floor. And we'll go ahead and meet in our seated position. Come to sit in a cross-legged position. If you prefer to stretch your legs out in front, you can take a moment there. Let's focus a little bit on our upper body. Let's lift our arms up overhead, interlace our fingers, palms up towards the ceiling, stretch towards the left side of the room, and hold. Breathe into your side body here. Chin is neutral. Come back to center, and then opposite side. Chin is neutral. You can keep your gaze down towards the floor. Come back to center, release your hands. Now interlace your fingers behind you, draw your shoulder blades closer together. You can lift your chin, your gaze up towards the ceiling. Hold. And then release. Following inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, palms up towards the ceiling. This time round your spine, chin towards your chest, palms towards the front of the room. And release. Transition into your tabletop. One round, inhale up into your cow pose. Lifting your tailbone. And then exhale, round your spine into your cat pose. Move at your own pace with your breath, inhaling up and exhaling, rounding your spine. Chin towards your chest. Inhale up, you're lifting your tailbone. One more round, inhale up, cow pose, exhale, round your spine into your cat pose. And now come back to your neutral tabletop, lift your left leg, bend your knees, stack your hips, open up your hips here. And now round your spine, knee towards your chest, chin towards your chest, press firmly through your palms, and then release. Opposite side, lift your right leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Round your spine, knee towards your elbow, chin towards your chest, hover here. Release your knee down towards the floor. We're going to lift up into our downward facing dog. Chest moves towards your thighs. Take your gaze right between your hands. Walk or jump up to your forward fold. And then we'll go ahead and sweep our arms up overhead. We're grounding our heels on the ground. Hands meet in front of our heart center. You can choose here which mountain pose most supports you. Hands in front of your heart center, both palms touching, or hands framing your hips. Inhale and exhale. We're taking a breath for the day we've had so far. We're taking a breath for this moment. And then we'll take a breath for the rest of our day. When we notice our breath, we welcome our experience. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, palms up towards the ceiling. Lift your heels halfway or all the way up and hold. Keep your gaze steady. Keep your breath steady as you work here on your strength and your balance. One breath, inhale, exhale. Drop your heels, drop your hands, interlace your fingers behind you. Draw your shoulder blades closer together. Invite a little bend to your knees, and now fold over. You can bend your knees more generously. Relax your neck, your head, elbows remain extended behind you, about one breath. And now release your hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, second round. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, third round. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. We're going to roll up slowly to standing. Our head comes up last. We soften our torso. Inhale here. Draw your shoulders down. Hands meet right in front of your heart center. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale here. Release your hands. We'll prepare for our warrior two. Take your left foot forward. Open up that hip, right hip towards the right. Your right foot is in a diagonal. Arms are parallel to the floor. Keep your gaze over that left hand. Hold. Release your right arm right behind your thigh. Lift your left arm up and hold. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center, warrior two. Inhale, exhale. And then imagine you're holding a ball between your hands. Your right hand swings over. You're sinking a little deeper into that left hip, left glute. And then spin all the way down. Hands frame that left foot. Pivot your right foot, so now you're in a low lunge here. Press that right hand onto the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Optional, you can release your knee on the floor. Extend and lift that left arm up as high as you can. A lot of strength here. Belly and ribcage expand on your breath cycle. And then release your hands, step back into your plank pose, either with legs long or supported plank pose with knees on the floor. Release down towards the floor. Upward facing dog, tops of the feet are on the floor. And then lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Take your gaze between your hands. Walk or jump up to your forward fold. Your choice how you come up to standing. You can roll up slowly, or you can sweep your arms up over your head. Any way works. Shoulders are drawn down, palms face the front. Imagine this mountain pose with hands framing your hips, that it'd be difficult for me to move you. You're grounded through your feet, your core is strong. We'll prepare for warrior 2, opposite side. This time our right foot shifts forward, left leg steps back. Left foot is in a diagonal. Arms come out to that T, parallel to the mat. Take your gaze over that right hand. You can invite a breath, breathing from your heels all the way up to the crown of your head. Release your hand behind your thigh, left hand. Lift your right arm up. You can take your gaze up towards your palm. Hold. You're stretching, lengthening, and opening throughout the lower back and your side body. Back to center, warrior 2. Inhale here, exhale. Imagine you're holding that ball between your hands. You're swinging that left arm over. You're sinking a little deeper into that right hip, right glute. And now spin all the way down. Hands are beneath your shoulders as you pivot your left foot. Toes face the front of the room. You're dropping into that lunge. Press that left hand onto the floor. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Optionally, you can release that left knee onto the floor. Hold. Lots of full body strength here. Release your hand back down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Release down to your vinyasa. Inhale up, upward facing dog. And then we meet in our downward facing dog. Press firmly through your palms. Bring your chest closer towards your thighs. One breath here. And now release your knees on the floor and then step back into a child's pose. Your knees can either be close together or towards the edges of your mat. Inhale and exhale. A few breath cycles here. Belly and ribcage expand. If you're ever having trouble concentrating, just notice your breath and see if you can extend the length of your inhale and exhale just a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in your child's pose. A moment of rest, a moment of pause. And then start to release your child's pose. So lift up back into a tabletop. Shift your hands right beneath your shoulders. Press that right hand onto the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling and hold. Press that hand back. Either take your gaze up towards the ceiling or release your gaze down towards the floor. And then drop your hand. Opposite side. Lift your left hand, left arm up towards the ceiling. Hold. And then release your hand. Step or lift back up, downward facing dog. In your down dog, we'll go ahead and lift our left leg, bend our left knee, stack our hips to the left, hold. And then release your foot back down to the floor. Lift your right leg, bend your right knee, stack your hips to the right. And then release your foot back down towards the floor. Take your gaze right between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Your choice how you come up to standing. You can sweep your arms up overhead. You can roll up slowly. Inhale, exhale. We're going to mentally prepare ourselves for 3 sun salutations. We're practicing creating your own personal flow. I'll go ahead and guide through 3 sun salutations, but if you want to move quicker or slower, go ahead and do that. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your knees, fold down to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. You're inhaling as you step back into your plank pose. Exhaling, releasing down towards the floor. Inhaling up, upward facing dog. And then exhale, down dog. You stay in your down dog anywhere between 1 to 3 breaths. Take your gaze between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Sweep your arms up overhead. Hands meet in front of your heart center. You're noticing your left palm press against your right palm. Both palms press against each other. Release your hands, arms lift. Exhale, bend your knees, fold down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, hands beneath your shoulders. You're lifting your core up towards the ceiling in your plank pose. Elbows remain close to your torso. Inhale up, upward facing dog. We meet at our down dog. Inhale here and exhale. Take your gaze between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Sweep your arms up overhead. Hands meet in front of your heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Release the pose. Last sun salutation. Arms lift. Exhale. Bend your knees. Fold down to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Generous breath here in your downward facing dog. We'll lift our left leg, bend our left knee, stack your hips, ground through your palms. Release your foot back down towards the floor. Opposite side. Lift your right leg, bend your right knee, stack your hips. Release your foot down towards the floor. Plank pose, hold your plank pose. And now release your knees on the floor. Drop your belly on the mat. You're going to take your hands, frame your chest with your palms on the mat. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Inhale up, cobra pose. Your elbows are bent close to your torso. You're not extending your elbows the way you do an upward facing dog. Elbows remain bent. You're pressing through your palms. You're working around the triceps. You're working throughout the lower back and the core. Move at your own pace for 5 more times. Inhaling up, you're drawing those shoulder blades closer together. Exhale, release. Fingertips are spread wide. And then on that 5th round, remain there an extra breath. Inhaling. Exhaling, release. Now interlace your fingers behind you. Draw your shoulder blades closer together. Inhale up, toes lift up, feet and chest. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, release. 3rd time, inhale up. Exhale, release. Drop your cheek on the floor. Drop your shoulders and hands. Soften your breath. Very purposely, physically release and let go. Remain here on your belly. Gather your breath. Notice we want to practice softening our body. Part of a holistic yoga practice is appreciating all the parts, being active, being more passive. All the poses have something to teach. If you're having trouble concentrating, lengthen your inhale. Lengthen your exhale. Two more breaths. On your next inhale, lift both arms up, both legs up. Inhale up. Exhale. Release. 4 more times. Inhale up. Exhale. Release. Be gentle with your shoulders. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Use your inhale to help find that lift as you come up. On that 5th round, inhale up, stay there an extra breath. And then release, left cheek on the floor or the opposite cheek. Rock your hands, rock your arms, remain here, belly on the floor. Very purposely scanning around the neck, the upper spine, mid spine, lower spine, softening. Take that breath that supports you. Three more breath cycles here. You'll start to take your hands to frame your chest, extend your elbows into your upward facing dog. From your upward facing dog, shift back into your tabletop. Shift your hands so they're underneath your shoulders and knees are about hips width distance apart. Press that right hand onto the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. We're preparing for a needle pose. Release your left shoulder on the mat. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling or drop your hand to rest on your lower back. Hold. And then release. Opposite side, press that left hand firmly onto the mat. Lift your right arm and now release your right shoulder onto the mat. Lift that left arm up towards the ceiling and hold. You can release that left hand to rest on your lower back. And now release your hand back down to the floor. One cow pose. One cat pose. And then shift into your seat. You can sit in a cross-legged position. You can sit on your ankles. You can stretch your legs out in front. Spine lengthens. We draw our shoulders down. Drop your chin towards your chest. Roll your head from one shoulder to the next. Full circle here. We'll remain here about 10 breath cycles, so allow yourself to deepen. Notice any sore spots. Focus on not just the neck, but shoulders, upper back, mid back. We store a lot of tension around our neck and shoulders. Take a moment to address this. If you prefer to work on meditation, go ahead and do that. As you move through these neck rolls, don't forget your breath. Belly expands. Start to bring your head back to a neutral position. Eyes closed or eyes open. If your eyes are open, concentrate on a point across the floor or the room. Inhale and exhale for the day you've had so far. Inhale and exhale for this moment. And inhale and exhale for the rest of your day. This is a way we practice presence, appreciating where we've been, appreciating this moment, and appreciating the moments to come. If your eyes are closed, you can gently open your eyes. We'll extend our legs out in front. We're preparing to lay down, so make sure you have room behind you. The shift. Palms face up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Slowly roll down, and then find a point to hover. Your feet can float off the floor. My core here is activated, glutes and quads as well. There's a lot of strength here. Any shaking is fine. You're creating new connections. So breath, inhale, exhale, and then drop your heels. Drop your head all the way back. One breath. Bend your right knee and then start to extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind your knee or thigh. You can rotate your ankle here for a few moments, clockwise or counterclockwise, noticing your heels and ankles, toes, tops of the feet, balls of the feet. Bring your leg closer towards you. Focus on your hamstrings. You can sway your leg towards the right or towards the left. Take a breath. Slowly release your heel back down towards the floor, and then opposite side, bend your knee, lengthen that left leg up towards the ceiling, interlace your fingers right behind your knee or thigh. Rotate your ankle clockwise or counterclockwise. Start to bring your leg closer towards your belly or chest. Focus on your hamstrings and even extend that stretch into the hips and glutes by swaying your leg towards the left and towards the right. And then after a few moments there, start to slowly release your heel back down towards the floor. We'll start to transition into our Shavasana. Remain laying on your back. Take one deep belly breath, the deepest breath you can invite. Belly expands fully, you have that full diaphragm breathing. Optional exhale, side out. You can let your breath go back to its natural rhythm. Or you can practice some long breaths. That is a practice to cultivate. Close your eyes. Soften the muscles around your forehead and jaw, down to your neck and shoulders. Throughout the length of your arms to your wrists, palms, and fingertips. Notice we tend to hold on so much with our hands. There's a metaphor here. Purposely release and soften your hands. Soften throughout the length of the back, releasing the upper back, mid back, and lower back. Down the length of your legs, your hips, behind your knees, down to your ankles and toes. Observing any thoughts, any sensations without judgment, just noticing. We'll start to shift our attention back to our breath, inviting a generous and leisurely inhale and exhale. You can restore some movement to your fingertips and your toes. You have the option of inviting a full body stretch, lifting your arms up overhead, lifting your abdomen up towards the ceiling. You can also turn to one side of your body, remaining heavy, letting the body remain heavy and relaxed. Once again, return to that generous and that leisurely breath. It slows down our sense of time. And then after you've taken a full breath here, a generous inhale and exhale, start to make your way up to your seat. Move so slowly and with presence, and shift into a seat that's comfortable for you. Invite that extra level of presence and integrity in your body by lengthening your spine, drawing your shoulders down, chin is neutral. And then we'll seal the class. We'll take our hands in front of our heart center, noticing by acknowledging our breath and practicing self-awareness with our breath, we are welcoming our experience. So on that note, intentional breath, let's inhale